My dear friend, let's walk together through a journey of healing, divine truth, and unshakable worth, one that will mend your bruised heart, restore your confidence, and anchor you in the certainty that you are deeply valued by God. I want to talk about those painful moments when you feel constantly replaced, overlooked, pushed aside, or swapped out for someone else, yet never truly respected for who you are. Maybe it's a workplace where your efforts are ignored and someone else gets the praise or promotion. Or a friendship where you're there through thick and thin, only to be sidelined for a new favorite. Perhaps it's a family or relationship dynamic where your love and loyalty are taken for granted, and you're left feeling like you're just a placeholder. The sting of being replaced while never being respected cuts deep, doesn't it? It can make you feel invisible, unworthy, like you're always chasing a place you'll never hold, tempting you to shrink back or question your value. But let me tell you right now, you are not replaceable and your worth is not up for debate. You're constantly replaced but never respected because others are blind to the divine treasure God created in you. But God sees your heart and He's calling you to shine in His purpose where you're honored for who you are. I'm going to unpack why this happens, lean on Dr. Myles Munroe's wisdom about your God-given value, and show you how to live so vibrantly that you embrace your irreplaceable worth and step into places where you're truly respected. Picture this for a moment. You're not alone in feeling replaced and disrespected. Think of Joseph, faithfully serving in Potiphar's house, only to be cast aside and forgotten in prison despite his loyalty. Or imagine David, anointed as king, yet constantly overlooked by Saul, who chased him away while never valuing his heart. Even Jesus, the Son of God, was rejected and replaced by crowds who chose Barabbas over him, never grasping his worth. Dr. Myles Munroe taught that your value isn't tied to who acknowledges you, but to the unique purpose God placed in you, a purpose that no one can replace, no matter how others treat you. When you're replaced and disrespected, it's not because you're lacking, it's because their vision is too small to see the eternal light God wove into you. Your pain is not a verdict, it's God teaching you to anchor your worth in Him, guiding you to spaces where your heart is cherished, not discarded. Let's talk about why this keeps happening, why you feel replaced and never respected. Sometimes people replace you because they're driven by their own agendas, choosing what's convenient, flashy, or beneficial to them in the moment, not valuing the depth you bring. Maybe they're insecure, unable to honor your gifts because it challenges their own sense of worth, so they push you aside to feel bigger. Or perhaps they take you for granted, assuming you'll always be there, so they don't bother to respect you while seeking someone new. It could be that you've stayed in environments or relationships that don't align with God's purpose for you, pouring your heart into places that can't see your value. But here's the deeper truth. Sometimes God allows you to be replaced to show you where you don't belong, to teach you to guard your worth, to lead you to people and purposes that respect you for who you are, not what you do. Dr. Munroe used to say that your purpose is like a star, unique, fixed in God's sky, shining whether others notice or not. That's you right now, learning to shine in His plan, even when others overlook you. I know the pain of being replaced and disrespected is heavy. It feels like you're always one step behind, never enough to hold your place or earn the respect you deserve. Maybe you're hurting, wondering why your efforts go unseen, or you're tired, feeling like you're running a race where someone else always takes your spot. I felt that ache, my friend, and it's real. But let me speak to your heart. Don't let their oversight steal your light. Their choice to replace you doesn't define your worth. You are not a placeholder, not a second choice. You are a masterpiece crafted by God with a heart, gifts, and purpose that no one can replicate. Psalm 139:14 says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That's you, wonderfully made, irreplaceable in God's eyes. When you're replaced, it's not the end. It's God calling you to shine where your worth is celebrated, not ignored. Let me share a story to make this real. I once knew a woman who was constantly replaced at work. She poured her heart into projects, stayed late, gave her all, but her colleagues took credit and her boss promoted others over her. She felt invisible, her respect eroded, but she took it to God, pouring out her pain, asking for truth in prayer. She felt Him say, you are mine and you are enough. She started valuing herself, setting boundaries, and launched a small business using her skills. Her clients saw her worth, respected her, and her confidence grew. Her old workplace struggled without her, but she was already shining where she was honored. She was replaced and disrespected, not because she was less, but because God was guiding her to a purpose that fit her heart. The pain taught her to trust God's truth, echoing Dr. Munroe's words, your worth is in who God made you, not who overlooks you. That's the power I want you to seize today. You're constantly replaced but never respected because others can't see the divine purpose God placed in you, but your worth is anchored in His love, and He's leading you to where you're treasured for who you are. Their choice to replace you isn't your truth. It's a sign showing you where your light doesn't belong and pointing you to where it does. Dr. Munroe taught that you're not here to beg for respect, but to fulfill a purpose that commands it. When you stop chasing their validation and start walking in God's plan, you become a force, a light that draws the right people, the right moments to you. They might regret replacing you when they see your shine, but you'll be too busy thriving in the place God's prepared, your life a testament to His faithfulness. If you're carrying the weight of being replaced, feeling like your worth is unseen, I need you to hear this. Release that burden. You're not defined by who pushes you aside. You're defined by the God who chooses you, who sees your heart, who calls you His own. Don't let their disrespect dim your glow. Maybe you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough to be valued, or I'll always be replaced. My friend, that's a lie. You are irreplaceable, and God will guide you to those who see it. You are enough just as you are. God's got a place where your heart will be respected, not overlooked, but you've got to let go of their rejection to step into it. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. That's God's promise. You're set apart, valued by Him. Trust that He's affirming you even now, readying you to shine. So how do you move forward? First, root yourself in God's truth about you. Stop measuring your worth by who respects you and start seeing yourself as God's chosen. Spend time in His presence, letting verses like Ephesians 2:10 fill you. We are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works. Tell yourself every day, God says I'm irreplaceable. My worth is His. I'm destined for His purpose. When you're anchored in His truth, their rejection loses its power, and you shine with the confidence that comes from knowing you're valued. Next, release their disrespect to God. Don't exhaust yourself trying to earn respect from those who keep replacing you. Take their actions to God in prayer. Say, Lord, I give you every moment I felt overlooked. Show me where my heart belongs. Write down those hurts if it helps, or share them with a trusted friend. Let them go, trusting that God sees every slight and is guiding you to spaces where your worth is undeniable. Dr. Munroe used to say, don't fight for a seat at a table that's not yours. God's got a table where you're honored, and releasing their disrespect frees you to find it. Then embrace your unique purpose. Their rejection can make you feel like you're not enough, but your heart and gifts are one of a kind. Celebrate what makes you you, your passion, your strength, your vision. Don't dim it. Start sharing your light, even in small ways. Pursue that dream. Speak your truth. Serve where you're called. Dr. Munroe taught that your purpose is your power. When you lean into God's calling, you attract people who respect you for who you are, and your presence becomes impossible to replace. Let me speak to those of you who are scared to shine, afraid that being yourself will only lead to more replacement. I get it. The fear of being pushed aside again is real when you've been overlooked so often. But listen, you can't live God's purpose by hiding your light, shining, serving, chasing your dreams. It takes courage to be you, but it's safe in God's hands. Don't let fear keep you from the life He's calling you to. Trust that God is your defender, that He's bringing people who will honor you, that your worth is secure in Him. Isaiah 43:4 says, you are precious and honored in my sight. That's God's word. You're honored by Him. Your purpose is waiting, and you'll find it when you shine boldly in faith. Let me share another story to make this clear. I once knew a man who was constantly replaced in his friend group. He was the one who planned gatherings, listened, kept everyone connected, but they ditch him for newer, cooler friends, never respecting his role. He felt like a backup, his worth unseen, but he took it to God, asking for truth. He started affirming his value, focusing on his passion for music, and joined a band where his heart was respected. The band became a family, valuing him for him, and his light grew. His old friends missed him, but he was already shining where he was honored. He was replaced and disrespected because God was guiding him to a purpose that fit his heart. That pain became his strength, proving Dr. Munroe's truth. Your worth is in who God made you, not who overlooks you. So I want to ask you, what's the pain of being replaced holding you back from? What dream are you afraid to chase because you think you'll be pushed aside? What purpose are you pausing because you're waiting for their respect? My friend, you don't need their nod to shine. You need God's purpose. You need your faith, your courage, your trust in the one who never replaces you. Their rejection hurts, but it can't stop you unless you let it. Get up, release the pain, and start walking in the destiny God's laid out for you. The world needs your light, and no one's oversight can dim what God's designed. Now, let's talk about living so vibrantly that their rejection becomes just a whisper in your story. Not to prove them wrong, but to honor God's purpose in you. Live for His glory, not their respect. When you're replaced, it's tempting to chase their approval, but that's a trap. Instead, use your heart to serve God's kingdom. Share your gifts, serve boldly, pursue your calling with all you've got. When you live for God, your light finds the right eyes, the ones who respect you for you. Dr. Munroe said, "Your purpose is God's priority, not man's opinion." Let that drive you. Live with confidence, knowing God's got you. Their rejection might shake you, but trust that you're irreplaceable, that His plan is perfect, that your purpose is secure. Step out boldly, even when it's scary. When you carry yourself with the assurance that God honors you, you glow in a way that draws the right people to you. That confidence isn't just for you, it's a spark for others who feel replaced, showing them they're valued too. Live with purpose. Don't let their rejection derail you. Wake up each day asking, "God, how can I shine for you today? Where do you want my light?" Purpose keeps you steady, even when the hurt lingers. When you focus on what God's called you to do, you build a life that's magnetic, pulling in relationships and opportunities that respect you. Those who replaced you might see their mistake, but you'll be too busy thriving to notice your life shouting God's goodness. To rise above this pain, cultivate what I call God confidence. The deep knowing that your worth comes from the one who made you, not the ones who replaced you. Spend time with Him. Let His word fill you. 1 Peter 2:9 says, "You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, God's special possession." He's chosen you always. When you're rooted in that, no rejection can break you. Your light becomes a beacon, drawing those who are meant to walk with you. Practice gratitude too. It's easy to dwell on their oversight, but gratitude shifts your eyes to God's truth. Thank Him for your worth, for the purpose He's unfolding, for the moments you're respected. Thank Him for the lessons, the strength, the doors He's opening. Try this each day. Write down one way God's showing you you're irreplaceable. Maybe it's a kind word, a small win, or a quiet sense of His love. Gratitude doesn't erase the hurt, but it lifts you above it, turning rejection into a bridge to your destiny. Let me tell you one more story. I once knew a woman who was constantly replaced in her family. She supported her siblings, cared for her parents, but they always favored others, never respecting her role. She felt like a shadow, her worth ignored, but she took it to God, asking for healing. She affirmed her worth, started a community project that used her gifts, and found people who respected her heart. Her family noticed her absence, but she was already shining where she was honored. She was replaced and disrespected because God was guiding her to a purpose that fit her heart. That pain became her launchpad, proving Dr. Munroe's words, "Your worth is in who God made you to be." Embrace God's truth, my friend. Their rejection can feel like a chain, but every moment is God teaching you to soar. He's affirming your worth, setting the stage for your purpose. Trust that He's not done. Your job is to keep shining, keep serving, keep being you, even in the hard moments, and celebrate your worth. Don't let their rejection make you hide it. Your heart, your gifts, your light, they're all part of the treasure God created. Share it boldly, knowing it's enough. You are not defined by those who replace or disrespect you. You are defined by the God who chooses you, who loves you, who calls you to a purpose that's yours alone. You are radiant, irreplaceable, a vessel of divine destiny. Their rejection is just a lesson, a sign, a nudge to shine wiser. Root yourself in God's love. Release their disrespect. Embrace your unique purpose. Live for His glory with confidence and purpose. Lean into His confidence. Stay grateful. Trust His guidance. Celebrate who you are. Do this and you'll live a life so vibrant that their rejection fades into the brilliance of your purpose, glorifying God and inspiring others to trust Him too. Go out there, my friend. Shine like you were made to. Chase your purpose with every ounce of faith you've got. Let their rejection be the spark that lights your greatest chapter. The world's waiting for your light, and no one's oversight can stop God's plan. You've got this, and I'm cheering you every step of the way.